Did you oh wait, we live?
Yeah.
Did you buy into like the Doc Disrespect like game? Like you have to do like an NFT or whatever. It's like $50.
No, I didn't get in there and do that.
You know, he's making like a Tarkov clone, right?
I didn't know for certain what he was doing.
Yeah.
Me neither.
But I feel like there's a couple Tarkov
if you buy
top
like
games in the works.
yeah, because it it takes like 5 years to make a game from scratch.
Mhm.
So if you buy into the NFT, you get like you get to like choose like maybe like the name of a gun, or you're in like all the betas, like it secures your beta access and all that stuff. And I was like, man, that's actually almost almost enough to make me want to do it.
Wavy old fox.
If I knew I had the time in the future to dedicate to playing to betas and like give like good feedback, I would do it. But I don't think I would have time to like actually give quality to what they're looking for.
Yeah, but I'm sure you'll get some sort of emblem or weapon skin or character skin or something, and you can just like big dick everybody. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess, but
I just don't know if that's worth $50.
when they have exclusive things, I mean, 50. Depending on
like,
how
if
many
it was
rounds of like
$20
alpha and betas there are.
If it was $25 or maybe or like $30, I would have bought it on impulse.
Mm-hmm.
But 50 is like right above that impulse buy for me.
Yeah.
Unless I'm buying that silver, you know what I mean?
I tell you one thing I did not impulse buy was that upgraded card. I ain't buying that.
Oh, just save it. Save it. I'm ready to bitch about me buying it. I bought it right off the rip. So I bought like $20 worth of silver, bought that thing, and then I was like, God, I don't have enough to buy the armor.
Yeah.
So then it's like, pretty much have to buy $20 more now. And they've ripped me for $40 off of this event. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me. That's what aggravates me. I think that if you buy silver within like 24 hours, like say I buy 20 and then I buy 10 more, that should count as like a 30 piece and not a 20 and a 10.
Would you miss out on like 200 silver though?
I don't know. There's some amount of silver. I'm not sure how much silver. I bought 20 twice.
Yeah.
I mean, I can look it up. It's not hard to figure out.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello.
We'll get into it, but I just realized that this event's not meant
So,
for me.
all that you got out of that, if I'm seeing right, is a ghost shell, a emote, and then like an entrance, a sparrow, another emote,
And a shader.
and a shader, right? Not worth $10. Not worth $10 in the slightest.
But when you think about buying those things just straight up in the store, it is worth
Yeah.
$10. It's worth more than $10.
I guess it is. I mean, I guess so, but like, do you buy emotes out of the store usually?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I bought the one from this season where you get the dog and it's for charity and stuff, but that's like the first emote I bought in probably like 2 years. Sometimes you get the season pack where you spend like $15 to get $10 worth of silver in an emote.
Yeah, yeah. See, that I can live with that. I feel like that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Greg Darkhaze just messaged me. The NFT thing I was talking about was Dr. Disrespect's new game. What is it? The Midnight Society? Is that the company name or is that the name of the game?
That's
Is the game been named yet? Is it the name of the company? It's supposed to be like Escape from Tarkov, and basically you buy in for $50 and you get like a NFT of the game, and the NFT allows you like beta access and lets you essentially I guess you can like name some guns, and you get like private, like your feedback from the betas and stuff. You're in like a private, I guess you're kind of like a VIP of the community would probably be the easiest way to put it.
Well, you could say that they're outsourcing playtesters, and you're actually you're paying money to be a playtester.
Well, I mean that's the that'd be the cynical way to say yes.
Says Mr. Conspiracy Theory.
Did you watch it whenever him and Paul Tassi was going at it?
No, I missed it.
Oh,
I'm very sad that I missed it though.
Yeah.
Can you give me like a rundown?
Cliff notes.
I mean, he just went after Paul Tassi, went through his likes and stuff like that. I mean, it's just like typical Doc things, like exactly what you expect Doc to do. It was exactly what happened. So, but you can probably look back on Paul Tassi's tweets, find the dates of it, and then go back and find Doc's live stream of the next,
right,
and then do it from there, because he did it at the beginning of his stream. So.
All right, I have us posted everywhere. Let me turn my AC off so I can roast for the next 90 minutes. It's hotter than the devil here in Kentucky. Chad doesn't
But
understand.
I thought he went down to Georgia.
Oh, he already stole a soul and has traveled back up north.
He got his ass kicked in Georgia.
Just like Alabama. What?
Of course.
That's for you, Squall. That was for you, baby.
Someone's already being mean.
What Guitar Hero was it where that was the last song of like the...
That was Guitar Hero 3.
3.
Guitar Hero 3. Yeah. I guess Cousin Cody and I can't call him by his nickname because that might get us banned. He would be somebody Eric Cartman wouldn't like, but Kyle Broflowski would like. Not a South Park guy. Okay. So I guess they've been playing Guitar Hero like every Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah.
So I thought about maybe popping in if Tiffany's off. Like, I think Tiffany's off next weekend, maybe. So I might go live for the Guitar Hero.
Yeah. You just do it from your phone.
Yeah. If we get the drum set out, I could probably get a pretty sweet. I would take my stuff up to watch me. I mean, I could play drums on expert. Like, I mean, I was pretty good.
Yeah. When's the last time you did that?
But, how long I've been married?
It's been a minute.
I got married in 2015.
Yeah.
So it would have been like somewhere between 13 and 16.
Okay.
I'd have to do the songs higher up the set list because I don't have the endurance that I used to have with the old bass. And you guys play D&D? I know I mentioned this in the Vinitizers thing.
I mean, I consider doing it if it's over through Discord.
Yeah, like through Discord.
I have not.
Like every second week or so, get together.
Nina wants to
and
talk to me about it.
Okay, that's what I was going to see. If Nina wanted to, I'd ask Tiffany, and our
bunch of nerds.
brother from the north.
Yeah.
Said that he would play as well.
Okay.
And if Chad plays, Tiffany would be a hard maybe. We could have potentially 5+ a DM, which would be a pretty solid group.
As long as I can. Oh, I was gonna say a word. I forgot we were live. That derailed my whole thought. So I'm just.
As long as you can what?
No,
As-
no. The whole idea is scrapped if I can't say what I want to say.
Say what
You were
need
gonna
to
double cross
say.
me, weren't you?
Huh? No,
You were gonna
no,
double cross me, weren't you?
no,
I know you
no.
will. But you know I'll teabag you before you double cross me. I will make
No,
sure.
I was gonna play as Mrs. Steal Your Girl.
You look like a bard if I've ever seen one.
That's Mrs. Bard to you. As
You're just gonna,
a true gamer girl, if I have a
yeah.
choice, I will be a female character.
Oh, you have a choice. I was trying to think what I would go to.
Dark Haze.
Yeah.
Dark Haze. He wants to be a bard.
I thought about maybe doing like a night elf mohawk. You remember those from?
Yeah.
I pity the fool. You know, just
Yeah.
be like
Yeah.
Mr. T.
Dark elf. Yeah.
Mm.
Jared, you'd probably be like a paladin because you love everything that's like right
Okay.
and play morally.
Take the high ground.
Yeah, you know,
Mm.
like you'd be like Ned Stark.
Yep.
That would kind of
Sounds about right. That sounds about right. Yep.
Sounds
Yeah.
like spoilers to me.
Hey, look.
die in season
See,
1.
It's scientifically impossible for Baratheon to have a blonde-haired child. See, it says it right here in the book. It can't be right. Oh, put this head. Yep. All right, get the show on the road so we can not play Destiny.
Would you not have? Trying to think. Saturday morning, I'm gonna have to like crank out a load of Gambit and a load of Crucible. I gotta get 100 kills. So I figure that's probably what 7 to 8 Crucible matches.
Why are you doing it?
I already paid $10 for it, Jared, for the card. I bought the card before I even looked at it. I'm pretty sure I bought it before I even did went to the tower, because everything was hidden, so I didn't really understand what was going on. I'll be real 100% honest with you. I'm still not entirely sure 100%
We're
what's
going to talk
going
about
on.
this later. We're going to talk about it later.
Okay. Mic check. Good.
Oh,
You guys have your
I should
squiggles?
check. I got the squiggly. Yeah, there it is.
I see Chad squiggles. I don't see Jared squiggles.
Squiggling.
Yeah, it's squiggling.
Yeah.
There it is.
Squiggle baby,
Yeah.
squiggle baby.
He's squiggly.
All right. I need to unmute this so I can actually hear if the music's playing. And I am going live. 3, 2, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1. We are live for episode 70 of the Gilded Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is Thursday, July the 21st, year 2022. And I am the Destiny bad boy, NotRyanFox, here with my fire team, who all of you CCBs know by now. Jared.
Yeah, we got Solstice something going on this week, and trying to guide people through this and people that's spending a lot of silver and make sure they're doing it for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. But we will soon find out.
And the chronicler himself, Chadocero.
I'm just happy that at least we got some lore about the event. So we'll talk about that later.
And remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget that you can take us on the road via Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast services. Make sure you subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe so we can check that algorithm. Click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. Make sure you listen to us on Spotify and iTunes. Make sure that's an and not an or. We're really trying to pump those numbers up. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us Bungie friend request. We are going to get to the TWAB and the hotfix, and there's just really a whole lot to talk about this week. But before we get to that, we're going to listen to the intro music from everybody's favorite Link, who you can find on Twitter at LinkOfTimeG.
All right, before we get into the TWAB, we did have a hot fix, the mid-season patch that went live on Tuesday. And I got some quick notes here of note. I'm not going to read through all of them, but I'm going to talk about some things that I think that stood out and that we need to make sure we know or reiterate again, as we probably talked about in previous weeks. So first one here is one of them that they haven't talked about. So duality, deep sight weapon drop rate has been adjusted to before those weapons that have not had their pattern unlocked. So that means is the fixed odds, that's the machine gun, right? So if you don't have that machine gun unlocked and you keep doing that encounter over and over again, which I believe is Keitel, the boss at the end, you're more likely to get that weapon to drop with deep sight. And then same for the fusion rifle. Chad, help me out with that name. The Epicurean?
Epicurean, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I've gotten a single red border of either of those weapons, so maybe by the end of next season, we could easily have those weapons unlocked for me. AE, airborne effectiveness, was buffed on primaries across the board, and they reduced the accuracy penalty and the magnetism on controller. So that stickiness just reduced 20 to 40%, just depending on the primary weapon. They didn't go into detail of what primary weapon got what, but probably you can guess that like SMGs and sidearms, they got more of a buff because they're supposed to be easier to play with in the air compared to like bows and hand cannons. Next, 180 RPM hand cannons and scouts can now 2-head, 2-body in PvP. And linear fusion rifle charge burst could be fired faster than intended. So that's the Storm Tracer. So it got nerfed a little bit. So what happened with that is whenever you shot it, you could unclick your mouse and click right back as it was firing the other 2 bolts. It start charging the next shot. So now you can't start charging until all 3 bolts were fired.
Busted.
All right. Anything else of note? Radiant no longer stacks with tier 1 damage boosts in PvE. So that means you can't get Radiant and sit in a well of Radiance and get like 25% on top of 25%. So that's no longer a thing.
The only thing that I thought was pretty wild is like Hung Jury can be a 2-tapper now if you have like a box breathing. So if you have like a box breathing moving target like roll or something like that on a Hung Jury, you can essentially like just hold a lane and peek out and trigger that box breathing. You can 2-tap, and it's pretty sick. Pretty jealous. Really wish that I wouldn't have got rid of all my box breathing Hung Juries. Every time I think about just laning with the scout rifle, I think about Mr. Vegas and him just what was Randy's throwing knife? Him and our brother from the north, Zen. Them just sitting and just holding lanes with scout rifles. The bunny scout rifle help me out.
Jade Rabbit.
Thank you. Bunny rabbit, bee rabbit. So that's that always makes me think of those guys.
Yep. Jade Rabbit also got a buff. It can you can go like body headshot and get the kill. So and then also whenever Fox talked about that 2-tap with box breathing, you have to proc box breathing both times in order for it to be a 2-tap. And it does 99.99. So there's tier 10 people that's running around in resilience. They'll live through it, but that's the only thing that's surviving.
If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son.
Yeah. All right. Next thing is save the date. So Destiny 2 Showcase on August 23rd. So that's a Tuesday, which is also the day one of the next season. So a lot of stuff is going to be going on there. I imagine if something at the end of this season set up with some kind of story has to happen during the showcase, which sets up the next 2 seasons before Lightfall. That sounds about right, correct?
Yep, it sounds like they're setting that up. Next season's the 3rd out of 4th.
Yeah.
So that'll be the halfway point for the year. So that'll be the first. How long did it take before they said anything about Witch Queen? Was it going into the 3rd season of the year?
Yeah, it was going into the last season, but that last season was a 5-month season because we got the 30th anniversary in it too.
Mm-hmm.
So the last few of these, they've had a like member of the community come in and do like some interviews or ask questions, or like they don't really host it, but they come in for like a segment. So I remember Dado did the one for Shadowkeep, and was it like Grenadier Jake maybe who did the one for
Lupo did it.
No, Lupo. That's right, Doctor. Yeah, you know, the real staple of our community, Dr. Lupo, came in and did that.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder who would be. I guess what I'm saying is Bungie, the Destiny bad boy, is ready to come in and ask you guys the real questions that people want to know. I know that you won't choose me, but if you have the stones, you know, I'll really bring the questions. But probably it will be Grenadier. Is it time for Grenadier Jake, or like who's?
They're not gonna have a PvP person do it.
Okay, so like,
but I also think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a maze.
Yeah, they've already worked with him for his Destiny raps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really positive. Like he's one of the most consistently positive people that's like on Twitter and on Twitch. That's positive vibes only. Basically, is what comes out of him. So
Nerd. I would probably like Kagan would probably be who I would kind of like to see do it.
Yeah,
I think he would do a good job. So
you know, they give you a little 49-second trailer here. And it's kind of just a little bit of an update. Everything we kind of seen in game of like the pyramids, Traveler interacting with the Witness at the end of the Witch Queen campaign. And you know, we all heard the line before you finish the campaign, the Traveler has no more pieces to play. So they're closing in, surrounding us, and let's see who's going to be thrown down. No, normally with the showcase, for everybody, they usually announce the next expansion and you can pre-order it, like along with the hype from the showcase. So if you're trying to get the legendary edition of the game or like the collector set of the next expansion, you probably only have like a couple hour window there when they announce it before they all sell out. So I know so be prepared for that. All right, next up is Banshee 44, and it's a rep in his rep gains. So the way they're tracking this, they're not seeing enough people like really finishing or resetting their Banshee rep, their Gunsmith reps. So they're buffing a couple of things. So the Gunsmith daily bounties are going from 25 to 50 for rep every time you complete one, and then whenever when a legendary or exotic armor or weapon piece get dismantled, it is now going up to 5 from 3. So that should help people get a reset every season if you are if you're an engaged player. They said you should get at least one reset per season. But I don't think I have ever reset Gunsmith.
Never. Nope. I'm thinking I'm at rank 14. I looked I looked yesterday, and I was like, man, I'd really like to. Does he have like an Ascendant Alloy or something at the end of that? Which, you know, I have like 10 on me and like 11 or 12 in the Postmaster at this point. So I don't know what I'm even going to do whenever it gets to the point to reset. But I could have really used that last season whenever I made it to rank like 270, you know, like season pass rank. I mean, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
Yep. I got into the Legend last season.
Mm.
And this season there was the gumshoe armor. I can't remember the Witch Queen armor, the blues.
Yeah.
That we're counting.
Yeah.
I may or may not have partook of that for a little bit.
Degenerate. All right.
Need the shame bell. Hit him
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
There's no shame here, dog.
So hopefully, I was getting a lot of them from the Nightmare activity, so I didn't really needed to clear that rank up enough. But hopefully, this helps out people in the community. Next up, everybody knows Solstice is here this week, and along with that, you can unlock stuff from Bungie Rewards store that you can purchase. So you got the title, you got a T-shirt, and they have a tank top that is for traditional female body that is not unisex. The T-shirt's for unisex, but they say that the tank top is not. And I really thought, since Mercury's 904 joined Bungie, king of the tank tops, that they was going to bring tank tops for men, and that is not what happened here.
Listen, I'm always down to wear a good tank. I'm not saying I have the body for a tank top, but I have the sweat level for a tank top. So tanks are good for a large man outside in the summer months. When you're cutting grass around a pool area, I'm not trying to look buff. I'm just trying to be cool. So that's me myself. Be cool, look cool.
All right. Next up is some known issues. So these happen a lot, and one that players who complete the Bonfire Bash activity holding maximum stack of silver ash may still have silver leaves converted, but you won't receive any more because you don't have room in your inventory because you have maxed out. So if you have 100 silver ash and you're going to do Bonfire, you need to spend some, or you won't get the leaves converted to ash. You'll just lose them. And then also, the last word, damage output, got buffed. It is now hitting around 73-ish, and somehow it got the spaghetti code of the high impact scout rifle damage buff. So it is hitting a little bit more per crit, and that will be adjusted back to its intended levels in a future hotfix. But it did receive the range nerf down to 17 meters. All right, last thing here in the TWAB is that the next Trials map is able to be voted on. So your three choices are Eternity, Widow's Court, and Wested Lands. I think when I think of Eternity and competitive PvP, I think back to Destiny 2 Year 1 of like going planting the bombs and undoing all that. So I don't think I don't know how that would play for Trials. I played Widow's Court a lot for Trials. It's a lot of Dead Man's Tale, sniping, slow games. So if that's what you want, you can go vote for that thing. And then Wested Lands, it's not a terrible map. It's one of those old D1 maps that they brought back. So if we get 77,000 people to vote, the community gets a free emblem to show up in the Bungie rewards. So go out and vote whenever that email comes out. And you have 48 hours to vote. So we need to get 77,000 votes in 48 hours. And then also, next week, we will finally find out about the raid returning next season. Now, Hippie said earlier in the TWAB that the next few TWABs until the showcase is not really going to have much big news. However, they are going to give us another save the date. So that's what it has to be, right? The raid for next season?
Hippie has she tweeted just a little bit ago that there's they're releasing the date. I don't think they're releasing the name.
Oh, just the date.
Just the date. Yeah. But we already know it's usually 2 weeks after the start of the season.
Usually,
since
yeah.
with the way because Vault of Glass was the second weekend after the start. So I'm guessing it'll be about the same. But nobody's got clues as to what's going on. And they also said there's going to be no big announcements until after the the showcase, right?
So,
Oh boy.
showcase is on the 23rd. So you're saying September 3rd is when you think the raid will be? That's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll be.
That's
in,
my
I mean,
guess.
about that, holiday weekend would be kind of nice.
I'll be in Florida.
The only
Just
bad,
so you know.
the only bad part is I'm pretty
No.
sure I work. Pretty sure I work holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I work that Monday. So if they bring it on a Friday, I could probably make that work. But otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
Probably out. All right. Now, that's it for the TWAB. That's it for patch notes. It's time for us to discuss Solstice and what the heck is going on this year in Solstice. I know Fox is geared up, ready to go. He's coming in hot, and I just want to say, at least we have a cool hand cannon to go after, and hence it is also stasis, and we will be breaking that down and weapons breakdown later on. So, Solstice, they redid the EAZ, and now you have a bonfire to build. To build that bonfire, you need to go around and kill high priority targets, get an orb, and go throw it to the bonfire. And
With right click, I have to say, how many times have you thrown things with right click?
it's been a minute. I'm trying to think of last time. Was
never right click ever.
What was the balls for?
Most of them
Scourge of
are
the
just like
Past.
the spire throw,
Yeah.
or your revive
Yeah.
/ use ability.
Yeah.
I got that first kill, and I picked that orb up, and I'm like, how the hell do I throw this thing? I'm pushing all the buttons on my mouse, and eventually I get to right click, and it throws it, and I was like, well, that's a new one on me.
You
Chad,
can do
what'd
some
you
really
think
fun
when you-
stuff with the interactions.
Yeah.
The first one that I
when you
tried
got
is
back in that EAZ?
I'm glad they added man cannons to more places.
Yeah, especially the ones in the middle that shoot you like across the level.
Yeah, and I'm glad that there's also not a treasure hunt at the end. That was the part that annoyed the hell out of me the most. I like just let me kill stuff and then do some stuff and then get my stuff and get out. I'm not gonna run around and have a minute timer to get chests. I don't care.
Yeah, we couldn't have both seasonal activities have hidden chest at the end of it, right? Only one is all I can handle.
Yeah, but the Titans having like multiple ways to dunk and then double dunk. And if you're successful, I think you can pull off a pentadunk with a single item, and it's the best.
I thought Cheese Forever got a 50 dunk.
Oh my god, that's wild! I have to watch that. That's crazy.
I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I saw. I didn't watch the video. I just saw the. I was looking for some of my video game flea market hunter guys, like that I subscribe to, and I saw that he had like a upload that was like an hour before I was looking, so he was always all his stuff was pushed to the top. But man, can I talk about Solstice for a minute, and then you guys just tell me I'm wrong or whatever. So I log in. You're greeted with like welcome to Solstice screen off the top, and open it up, and I see that there is a like a Solstice card thing to buy for 1,000 silver. So I get on and I buy $21.60 worth of silver, which I think got me 2,300 silver. I want to say, basically the 19.99 package. Buy it and purchase the new thing, and everything is still hidden because I haven't started the quest yet. Like I haven't even loaded into the tower to talk to our space grandma for her to tell me what to do. So I pop in there, I do that, and I think it tells me to play the activity. So I play the activity, and since we've been in the EAZ for the last 4 years, it's not like it's something that I forgot what it looks like or where the stuff is. So more or less just 3 bosses come up at once, and every 8 or 10 there's like a little taken section, and you kill the 3 taken blights, and then believe it or not, there's going to be more bosses that come in. However, we do have Hive, Cabal, and Fallen, I want to say. So we do have 3 different variations, which, just completely changes things one from another. It's like 3 totally different things that happen. And the whole time you're trying to juggle bounties where you're killing stuff with swords and killing stuff with hand cannons and shotguns. And then you also have triumphs that have hand cannon kills and banning the flames, or aka throwing the orbs at the giant bonfire thing in the middle. I think you need to do 150 to get both of those done for your triumphs. And you're juggling triumphs and bounties, and your time's running down, and eventually at the end, whether or not you get to the, what is it, is 30? Is that the target, or is it 20? That's the target. I can't remember.
20.
I played it like 5 times. So if you get to 20, then the boss spawns faster. If not, you have to wait the whole time. And a boss spawns that has a pretty small amount of health, like 3 supers pretty well kills it. Or if you have, I was just running with randoms. So I was the only one doing anything. It seemed like I was getting like literally season pass level 1, season pass level 15. Like these were the people I was getting matched up with. And, so you start doing these. If you do one without dying, you get like one of the Gilded Triumphs. If you complete one all the way to level 20, you get one of the Gilded Triumphs, I believe. And it looks like there's 24 Triumphs, and 20 out of the 24 gets you the seal, and then all 24, I assume, gilds it for you. But I'm not sure because I'm not that far. From what I've seen, it looks like it takes about 10 to 12 hours to completely max out the title for that. And the thing that they don't really tell you, so when I came in, I still need red border weapons. So the first thing I did when I logged in, I went and I bought my 5 out of 5 Drang, and I completed it, went to a Sever mission, and then I was like, oh crap, I can't do a Sever mission yet because I have to go bind the Vestiges of Dread. So I had to go into the containment and run 3 rounds of it so I could kill the boss and then bind it. That way I had a chance at a red border weapon at the end of the Sever mission, and I had a chance at a red border weapon at the end of that. And then maybe I would get an opulent key from one of the 2 chests that came after that. So I did get an opulent key, and I go and I get to it, and of course there's not a red border weapon in there. However, I did complete my drink, so I have 5 out of 5 on it now. Go into the Sever mission, play it, and match it up with one of the seasonal challenges that I haven't done yet. I complete Grief using only arc weapons, and I also equip a sword and a glaive because I need that as well. So I equip those, and I'm just meleeing everything, killing everything. So I crank both of those out, get to the end, and of course I do get a red border weapon, but guess what? It's the Drang that I already got 5 out of 5 of. So now I have a red border weapon that I don't need. So I dispose of it. And then I go to start the, I look at my quest, and I have like 4 out of 8 silver leaves. And I'm like, what the hell is a silver leaf? What am I supposed to do with this? So I pop into that activity, complete it, and it takes my 4 silver leaves away, turns them into like silver ashes. It's telling me to go into this incandescent armor or whatever it's called and apply kindling, and then apply silver ash. And I go in and put this in, and now I'm at 0 out of 8 on this silver leaves thing. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do to get silver leaves? It says complete activities. And then I have Mr. Vegas decides he's going to hop on and play with me. And then it's not showing either one of us as online to each other. So we finally meet up, and then he has to go and do the activity in order to start the quest. And we do it. And then it's like, okay, now we need to run strike. So I run a strike, and you get 7 out of 8, I want to say. You don't get a full 8 out of 8. So, yeah, I mean, it's so dumb. Like, why are we still at the point to where we have silver leaves, silver ash, and why are they calling it silver when silver is the thing that you buy? Like, why don't we just call it like, Whatever, just make something up. And why do you have to get one portion from doing playlist activities and then you have to go to another thing to turn it into something else? Like, I feel like we're right back to like synth cord weaves and synth cord straps and synth cord this and synth cord that. Like, everything is so convoluted in this game. Why are there hundreds of different things you can have in your inventory? Like, why are we still doing this? Very aggravating.
So I can give you an answer about the inventory issue and earning these new materials. The reason they're doing this is they want to get people in the routine of populating the playlist activities. They want everybody logging in every week to play Gambit, to play Crucible, and to do strikes. To get the numbers up, people need to play those activities. So, I mean, we discussed this a lot, but you need population in PvP in order to make the lobbies balanced. And they don't have it. So the lobbies never be balanced. And then, whenever you got to get the kindling to upgrade the armor, you also get those event tickets, Fox. And that's one of the things that you haven't really dove into a lot yet. But everybody's going to be earning those event tickets. And they're going to have them when they look. It's like, how am I supposed to expend these event tickets? I finally figured out how to spend the other silver ashes and silver leaves. What I got to do with these event tickets? Oh, I have to buy the upgraded event card. So there's another $10 silver to upgrade this armor to eventually you can get a stat wall that you can focus 20 in one stat and 10 in another with a ghost mod.
Right.
That's the end
So
goal.
that was kind of my other issue was I bought, like I've said, I get enough like hour count out of this game and enjoyment out of this game. If there's something to buy to support them, I'm going to buy it. It really doesn't bother me too much like in the past to buy like whatever's out, like whether it be a dungeon pass or this pass or yada yada, or spend money on silver to buy a weapon ornament, or whenever they had like the Dragon Ball Z emote that was pretty cool, or something like that. But now like these free events are essentially $10, and I get like an emote that I don't really like, a shader that I'm probably not ever going to use, a ship and a sparrow that I'm not ever going to use because I already have the always on time sparrow or whatever it's called, the one that you got from the the raid that stops like people from shooting at you and those type of things. So I started looking and I think I had 4 out of 10 event tickets by the time I got done playing so I played Tuesday and Wednesday. I played probably 4 to 5 hours, but it was not an efficient 4 to 5 hours whatsoever. Probably somebody that knew what they were doing, I probably got 90 minutes worth of like efficiency out of those 5 hours. And I'm like, why? I have these event tickets and I can spend them on a entrance. Like, I don't ever change my entrance. Like that's what I get out of that $10 I spent. And after I got my 2,300 silver, I was like, man, I'm not even going to have enough because I didn't have any silver because I had like cleaned my complete bank out before. Like, I don't even have enough to buy the armor. So I had to go buy another. I mean, I could have bought $10 worth of silver, but about another $20 worth of silver. And buying 20 and a 20 is not as lucrative for your free silver as buying like, buying it all at once. So then I was like, why is there not a system in place to where if I buy silver, like within 24 hours, I buy 2 10 packs of silver, and that would only be 2,200. Why doesn't that count as a 19.99 pack of silver where you get 2,300? Like, why isn't there something in place to help against that? And deep down, I know it's the almighty dollar, and 100 silver, like the real money value of that's like probably $1 or less. And it's kind of like, don't worry about it too much. But I mean, it's just something that would be nice as like a quality of life thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, so Destiny 2's been out since what year? 2017?
17, I want to say.
Yeah, so we're approaching on almost 5 years of collecting shaders and emotes, sparrows, and chips.
Which you can use 4 emote. You can have 4 emotes equipped at a time, 1 ship equipped at a time. Technically, you could have 8 shaders equipped at a time, one on each gun and 1 on each armor piece. But I mean, like, really, like, who's gonna be doing that, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess this is the most, and this is somebody like I am not a complainer about silver. I am, you guys call me Silver Fox. This is the most nickeled and dimed I've ever felt playing Destiny. And this is, in my opinion, the least amount of Destiny I've ever been inclined to play.
Yeah, simply they got you, Fox. They got they got the people like you that's like, hey, I want to try out this new event card, and they got the money. Traditionally, the only thing that people would spend silver on, was the armor ornaments.
Armor sets.
Yeah. So they got some people to spend some extra money that way. Now, if they put their armor sets behind the event card, maybe the event card might have been worth it, but the event card would have cost more, because the armor sets cost 1,500 silver, right?
Right.
Yeah.
$15.
Yeah.
So if they make, now I would be pissed if the card cost 1,500, and then I had to complete all 24 triumphs in order to unlock all the stuff. I'd rather just give you $15 and unlock it without having to play. I'm just saying. I mean, I know that I'll get flamed a little bit from people that listen. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you how it is.
Yeah.
As a guy that, I'm in my mid-30s. I have disposable income, and I spend my disposable income on the things I like, which is beer, bourbon, and Destiny. And, those are the things that I spend money on. And I don't care to spend money. But I will say, whenever, so we've already done the Dawning, right? And we've done Guardian games. And so we have this. So next will be the Halloween event, if I'm right.
Yeah.
I know one thing is I'm going to have to look at what I get for that $10 out of that event card before I automatically purchase it. So, yeah, you got my $10 this time. And you know what? Let's be honest. You'll probably get my $10 next time and the $10 the time after that. But it's not going to be automatic. Like, you're working me down a path to where I'm going to start looking at it. Whereas before it was automatic. So, in my opinion, what they should have done, they should have made it $15. You unlock 1 armor set and you unlock the card. And that's that. That's how I think it should have been. I'd have been very happy with the value of that $15. Hell, make it $20. $15 for the armor set, $5 for the card, and you take my 2,000 silver, and I don't have a single thing to complain about, most likely.
Chad, Fox had brought up some triumphs and completing all of those. You got to complete it for the seal. You're somebody that's definitely completionist when it comes to triumphs. How are you feeling about those?
They're not bad. I mean, you have to kind of distribute out your time, because it's like, do this amount of playlist stuff, do this amount of Nightfall stuff, do Crucible stuff, do this, do that, do this and that. And it's like, okay. I mean, my strategy is basically I'm going to work on the triumphs, and once I get a fat stack of leaves, go in and turn them into ash, and then upgrade stuff. If I finish all the triumphs and I'm not maxed out on my armor, I'm going to be super concerned, because like literally I'm focusing on only the triumphs. I'm not even caring about trying to be efficient, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm not the one character. Normally I'm a 3-character event guy, but looking at this one, I'm like, no, there's no way in 2 weeks I'm going to finish even 2 characters. They made it because Solstice these last 2 years has had like a little kind of ramping up of, once you do your first character, your other 2, it gets faster. And then once you complete character 2, it gets faster again. And this year they're like, nah, we didn't like that. We're going to make it worse. And I'm like, then I'll just ignore it. I'll just finish my 1 character. I'll do like an hour here, an hour there on like on my days off. It's like I'll do my 10-hour grind, and then whenever I'm done with my 1 character, Destiny's going off, because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that again.
I feel you, dog.
So they like took a big step back on my engagement because they rewound that card there.
Yeah.
And I think someone did some math that like based on like being kind of efficient, not like kind of casually doing the event, like it's a total of about 100 hours to fully complete one set of armor.
Sheesh.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. No way I'm putting 300 hours into this stuff. Because if it was cut, it'd be like 100 to 50 to 25. It's like, okay, is it possible? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Hey, I have another question, and I did typically. What was like the end of the year things that you would do that would give you like complete all the raids that came out this year, max out all the ranks for the towers or whatever. What was that event called? That was wasn't that Solstice of Heroes? That was like do everything for the past year, like kill Skolas, get to the max level, and then if you did it, didn't you get like remember like the raid emblem that you had to get that one year by completing all the raids?
Yeah.
Like before they vaulted. Wasn't that Solstice of Heroes?
Was that Triumph of something? Triumph of Heroes?
Come on, Chad. We're counting on you, man. We're both
Told
looking
you
at
that,
you on
Jake.
the screen.
That's the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, Solstice, they dropped the other part of Solstice, so it's just Solstice.
Remember to get
Yeah.
to get the white glow, you would
Yeah.
have to like complete a GM or
Yes.
or this or that.
Yeah.
So like all that's gone.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff that was cool, like, and I know that Solstice is technically like a summer event, right? Or like a near the end of summer event.
Yeah.
So it kind of throws off like where Bungie is now, or where Destiny is now, like a February release for major DLC. But like, imagine if Solstice was like next season, and you had to have completed stuff from the raid, the Vow of the Disciple, and then like Crota's End or King's Fall or Wrath of the Machine, whatever comes next season, like doing that stuff. That should have been the stuff to get these glows, not whatever the hell we're doing now.
So
like it just does. It feels half baked.
Yeah. So this is where I think that this event is missing us, and that this event is really beneficial to free to play players, or players that don't sink a lot of time into Destiny.
Because they can get like the armor rolls and stuff, right?
Exactly. So we can just go to the helm and basically do this armor grind with engrams to get a 20
Yep.
and a stat and a 10.
Yep. And whether that be Risen Umbral engrams or Psionic Umbral engrams, like whatever we have to do, we can spend
Yes.
30 minutes doing whatever activity and then getting enough of that energy to do it.
Not to mention this armor system of the stat rolls have been around for 3 years now, and we have pretty much perfected rolls over time and artifice armor on top of that we value way more than this.
Absolutely. Not necessarily on all three characters, but definitely on our mains.
Yes. So
definitely on our mains.
If you're a player that's like, all right, I come around for the big DLC and maybe a dungeon or the new raid when it comes out, this armor grind here is perfect for you, because now you can go instantly get whatever the meta stat distribution is now, because there used to be nothing but recovery and intellect.
Yep.
So now it's more like
maybe discipline.
Yeah. So now like everybody wants resilience, and then if you're on the hunter, you want resilience mobility, and then Warlock Titan is resilience recovery. And you talk about the top 3 slots. So it's made for them. It's not made for us. And that's why this event feels so weird. It feels so off. It feels like you got nickel and dimed, and all of these things, because like you have 200 plus shaders. You have probably like 100 ships and 100 sparrows, and like you have high dollar emotes you've always purchased money on before that you love.
Right. Like, I mean, right now, no matter what, raise the roof is the up arrow,
Mm-hmm.
and the down is the shoulder lean thing that we all have, right? Like those two are like locked up. Nothing else is coming in there. So I only really have
Yeah.
2 emote slots to work with. And you know, on the Titan one, I like the one where they're like counting on their fingers because they're stupid as hell. And you know, so and I also like the one like what is it, like the Dirty Dancing one where you hold the other
Yeah.
person up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like I've already got like several of these locked up. Like you're gonna have to be bringing heat
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
take the spot. But you know, like raising the roof, that's number one forever. And you know, that's our office reference.
Mm-hmm.
Not do it like I showed you. You know, like. But so yeah, I don't know, man. It's just the longer I've played this game, the more I've played this game, I feel like, and this sounds terrible. It sounds really bad. I feel like there are 6 days a year this game is for me. Like the first 3, the DLC is out. Day 1 raid, and then the day 1 and like 2 GMs. Outside of that, there's not anything this game is made for me.
We have.
So I get single digit days a year that this game is for me.
Yeah, you're talking about 4-day play sessions there. You know, like we still got like another dungeon, and we just had one come out. So like I think they are
Right.
adding days to like what you're looking for there, but they have never been able to keep up with what you're talking about days wise.
That's true, but I feel like they've done better in the past than what they're doing now.
You talk about the
Now I
Activision
feel
days.
you know, I wish they would have told us they were the good old days when we were in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to us now, you know, they tell us Activision's the bad guy. They don't let us do what we want to do. But I mean, Chad, and I know this is going to offend you, and I'm sorry before I say it. Having storyline and all this cool story and lore stuff is awesome, but it's awesome for a fucking week. And after that, I don't care. After that, I would rather have the stuff more towards built to making the game last and go longer than us be here talking about, oh, the story was great. I'm glad we got to do it. The one out of every 52 Tuesdays out of the year, we got to get this cool piece of story. And dude, that is awesome on that Tuesday. But after the first 8 Tuesdays of the season, I'm looking for stuff to do. And I don't have it to do. And I feel like more has went towards that. More has went towards Matter. More has went towards Destiny 3 that they don't want to talk about. A lot of people have been moved off the seasonal model and into the DLC model because let's face it, man, Witch Queen was really soft. And it was what, 16 months in the making?
I wouldn't call the Witch Queen soft. I think
You wouldn't call the Witch Queen soft?
No, I think more people enjoyed that than Beyond Light and Shadowkeep.
The people that enjoy so let's talk about this. Where would you rate the raid at from the others? How much of that raid was like, oh, we got to do a jumping puzzle, we got to activate the platforms to jump on, as opposed to actually doing something in an encounter?
Okay, I see what you're saying there. When you're talking about
Okay.
you're dissecting a raid.
Right. And we did get 2 dungeons in the past. We only got 1 dungeon a year.
Yeah.
So we'll say that equals out the raid.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we still haven't got our second raid. But man, this seasonal loop, when you take like going into the Leviathan, which is recycled content, I don't care if they put a little egregore seeds or smoke or whatever they did to make it different. It's the Leviathan. You can call it what you want. That's the Castellum. That's the same stuff I was doing 4 years ago in this game. Going in there and doing. And you go in there, you do that, and then you got to go hunt chest. You basically run in a circle for 90 seconds, and you have your treasure tracker thing on your ghost, and you get your 2 things. I mean, it is a really soft, really soft season. Coming off, I would expect this season to be tied in with like the first season of the year because it's in with the DLC. Like, I'll give him a pass on the first. I just want 3 good seasons. And really, if you give me 2.5, I'll be happy. But these first 2 seasons have been soft, really soft.
I don't know why you think I would disagree with you on that story point.
Just because I know that you really get into the lore, so all the stuff with all the background stuff with Callus, and you had the Kaido, and you had the Crow, and you had the Zavala with the Sophia, all that stuff going on. I know that you were really into that, but somebody like me that half the time I play with headphones, half the time I don't because there's kids running around and I'm just reading subtitles, that stuff's great, but I mean it's not why I play the game. Not at all why I play the game. And this game is still, think about those day 1 dungeons, think about those GMs. This game is electric, man. This game is so much fun. And the shooting and the guns and the gunplay and the aiming and this and that, all that stuff is so good.
Mm-hmm.
But I need a little bit more with it to chase.
So what if next season though your inventory is completely wiped?
So by inventory, do you mean my ascendant shards and that kind of stuff, or do you mean my vault?
Everything.
So I start off as a blank character,
So
essentially.
Basically blank. I guess shaders and cosmetics can stay.
Shaders, cosmetics, and exotics stay.
No, exotics are gone. You can't pull them from the vault. It's just removed from game.
I don't know if I come back.
But I think this game needs a total refresh. We have
but
too much stuff.
But if you call it Destiny 3, and I buy it, I'm in.
Okay.
Because I know what I'm getting. But if you do that in the 3rd season of a year, I'm not gonna be real happy.
Yeah.
But like I said, if it is a complete new game, or even if we keep our shaders and we keep the stuff that we bought from the Eververse store and that kind of stuff, but everything that's on our character and everything in our vault gets deleted, I would be much more okay with that if I paid $60 and I get a brand new game experience. Mm-hmm. And there's no more PS4 and no more Xbox One or Xbox. It has to be new system on. I would trade that.
So I think at this point in our Destiny lifespan, that is what it's going to take for you to get that kind of feeling again.
Probably, but I mean, I could do with a little bit more fleshed out content in the seasons. And let's not focus on the story as much. Let's focus on the activities more.
Yeah. So, normally we give you 3 likes and 3 dislikes every week. But however, our dislikes just went through the roof with this Solstice overview and rant, I would say. What do you say so, Chad?
I'd like to at least say my because I think that's the only thing any of us has at the moment.
I think we need to say some likes at the end of this, just to say there's got to be some light at the end of the tunnel.
I will say that I have changed my mind on my duck.
Okay.
I have named him the Spectator, and he is watching all from on top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's my I have changed my mind from last week's dislike to it being a good thing now. He is my ducky friend.
So one of the things I do like of the Solstice Bonfire Bash is that literally just like a fire team, if you want to be optimal, just stay spread apart. There's only basically 3 zones where the bosses spawn. And just stay in your spot, kill the bosses, then throw the ball, and turn around and wait. Don't be running around trying to take other people's bosses' kills and take the balls and throw it. Just wait in your spot, and it'll be okay. You'll get your turn with the rotation, and just throw the boss. And I do like that.
When you hit 20, because I haven't hit 20 yet, because I'm playing with a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah.
Does it just move on to the next step?
Yes.
So you can just absolutely smash just make it super fast.
Yeah. Yep. I think
you're not set to a 10-minute timer.
No.
And then another 5-minute timer, and then a 2-minute timer.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep. I think most of mine's been done in 6 minutes or less.
Yeah,
So
that's good. That's way better.
Yeah. I probably just gotten lucky with my blueberries for the most part. But
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
I had a guy who was constantly right next to me, so I'm running across the map, and then he's following me, and I'm like, dude, do something else.
Listen,
like
I want this game
like
to
you said.
change the opt-in text to where like I'm trying to tab to yell at my team to say, hey, just stay in your spot and leave me alone. Quit come over and take my boss kill. But I know it just takes a while, but it is what it is. All right. Fox, so do you have a that went on during this week at Solstice?
Yeah, I thought the armor was good enough to be called a like.
Okay.
It wasn't a great, it wasn't a love, it was a like.
Okay.
I'm not proud that I spent $40 in silver this week, but sometimes that's where you end up at.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to complain, and I'm just going to be like, I like the armor.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It is finally time for a weapons breakdown. And we got 2 weapons here. We got something new, and that is literally what it's called. Who's on first. It's literally called something new, as is a Stasis hand cannon. And the other is the Compass Rose, which returned from last year's Solstice. So the origin trait is called Dream Work, and once per reload, assist or assisted final blows partially refill the weapon from reserves and potentially overflowing the magazine. So for the Stasis hand cannon, it's a 120 RPM. So PvP, I'm looking at corkscrew, ricochet rounds, or extended mag if you want AE, and then assemble and headstone. So I'm really using this weapon as a team shooting, in threes, sticking close to teammates, getting a headstone kill to where the ghost and trials would be locked inside the stasis crystal. So it would have to shoot the crystal in order to get to the ghost. So that's what I'm looking at there. The reason for corkscrew, and I'm not just going all in range, with 120s, they feel really sluggish sometimes, and the stability is really low. So corkscrew gives you range stability and handling. So that's the reason for that for the most part. For PvE, I'm going corkscrew again, flared magwell, wellspring with headstone, and a reload masterwork because I feel like the reload's so slow in PvE. So you're maxing out reload at that point with flared magwell and a reload masterwork to where I wouldn't have to use hand candle loader, which costs 4 on my arms, which is way too expensive. And then also just the overall combo, you can get wellspring and demo combination in the columns 3 and 4 to where if you just want more abilities and more grenades, it's a pretty easy to go with, especially with the audio mancy gloves with warlock. You just throw even more stasis turrets. Now, I did get wellspring headstone, but unfortunately my column 3 is not what I wanted. So a little something else to go play and chase after, and that's kind of my main goal with this is just to get a couple of these. Because I do like the 120s in PvE, and Oshringer's good as the other option to this. It's a 140, and you got to grind in a dungeon for that. So, how y'all feeling about this hand cannon?
I think you meant Iasuna, right?
Yeah.
Iasuna was the one you had to grind for?
Yeah.
So, on something new, I got a tunnel vision demo roll that had maybe high cal, and I want to say small bore or full bore or something with it. And I was like, man, that's a pretty decent roll. I can't really complain too awful much about that roll. So I know it's not the roll, but it's one that for the limited 4 to 5 hours that I've played, I was pretty happy to get that roll. I did like it pretty well. I assume that you're going to talk about, or I don't know if this will be mailbag or part of this segment, but the origin trait and kind of what you can do with it on this, in regards to Fourth Horseman and those type of things. Were you talking about that now or later?
I mean, we're going to say since you brought it up, I'm going to assume this will get fixed. However, Say you have fourth horseman in your special slot. You shoot something with his hand cannon, switch to it, and your teammate finishes off the kill, and now overloads fourth horseman's mag. And you can continue doing this until the entire reserves are in the mag for fourth horseman. So it's like 20 shots, and you can go melt just about anything in the game.
Yeah. So basically, there's some videos floating around to where, say, Jared, Chad, and I all got together and we coordinated it to where, like we weaken people, and then we use this hand cannon to finish people, and then the other two people, their fourth horseman overflows, and then they kill people, and my fourth horseman overflows, and we just kind of pass it around. So we essentially have 20 fourth horseman shots, specifically with like the catalyst completed and everything. And you can take like 95% of Kaido's health with 3 people with 20 round magazines, fourth horseman. And you just sit there and just literally hold the mouse button down and you fire 20 fourth horseman rounds in very rapid succession. And then you just reload once and all of you just throw 4 more in or 5 more in or whatever it is with the catalyst, and it's over. It's done. Like game over at that point. You can kill her in 1 bell, which is just nutty. Absolutely nutty. So that's kind of what's going on with that gun. I've also seen that if you have like double rocket launcher reserves on your chest piece, you can get 8 or 9 rounds into a Gjallarhorn and fire that off, which with the Gjallarhorn, with the hotfix, I'm not sure if we touched on this because I know we only touched on some things. The detonation on that first one goes away, so it is like it gives you a full damage. You don't get like that horseshoes and hand grenades perk thing. It does a full impact, and then the wolf packs. So imagine doing 9 of those without having to reload. Also nutty. So with that, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, are they going to make that perk worse to where it only does like half of what it does now? Like, what do you expect, Jared?
Oh, they're just going to straight up fix it to where it only works with the weapons out. So, like, you can't stow the weapon and it still proc on whatever weapon you have out. It's going to only proc with the weapon out.
Okay.
That or they'll disable it for day 1 raids. They can't fix it.
See, I'm fine with it being patched right away because it doesn't help me with my solo flawless. So
yeah,
I'm not worried about it.
All right. So the other weapon you can get during in this bonfire bash is the Compass Rose, which is back from last year, and it's the solar pellet precision frame shotgun. So, for shotguns, when you see precision frame, it's either the slug or the pellet. You just have to see and shoot it and what's going on. So PvP is full choke, accurized rounds, quick draw with snapshot or adagio if you're running 6s. Adagio is pretty good on shotguns. After you get 1 kill, it really pushes out that 1-hit kill range and makes it very easy. PvE, I'm looking at barrel shroud, tac mag, lead for gold, and trench barrel. Or you could go assault mag, lead, vorpal. So that's 2 different ways to dish out damage. Vorpal is more like a one, like you're using that one gun for DPS on like probably like a standstill thing. Trench barrel is just a little more like you got multiple big health enemies you gotta go kill. So just like it's either one, what you choose to do. Both of them are going to put out good damage. Trench barrel is like it's 20% extra damage for 3 shots, and Vorpal is 15% extra damage for at any time for bosses and majors. So unfortunately, I haven't got any of the new ones to drop, so I'll be looking out for that. But if you wanted to push this thing out the max range, you could do rifle barrel, accurized rounds, and ranged masterwork. Push the range at 92 for this weapon. If you want to absolutely have like a crazy range shotgun. All right, that's it for weapons breakdown. Fox, that takes us to gambling corner.
Yeah, so full disclosure, we all suck at gambling corner, and none of us have played together. So we had set before, and then we tried to roll it a week, and honestly, in 2 weeks, none of us have played any Destiny together. Jared's kind of on at different times. He's on the weekend days. Me and Chad are kind of on nights, but Chad's been playing Mass Effect. I guess he's running his fem shop around and doing all that through all 3 of those games. I've been dabbling, trying to get Luka Doncic a title in NBA 2K and a little bit of Final Fantasy VII Remake. But, so I just decided we're all going to be fined. So we're all fined 2,000 Glimmer, which is going to take Jared to 17,700. It's going to take me to 21,500, and it's going to take Chad to 9,300. So Chad is just barely below what we started with. We started this season with 10,000 Glimmer. Remember, if we ever run out of Glimmer, we had to sacrifice a weapon. The other 2 members decide how much that weapon is worth on a scale of 1,000 to 10,000 Glimmer. And I don't see, that's weird, that amount just raised back up. So we'll call that 9,300 again. And so we will decide. I know that we had talked a little bit about what we would do this week. But what did we end up going on? I think we said whoever threw the most fireballs at the fire in one round. So whoever fanned the flames the most. This is kind of going to be like an honor system type of thing, because this gives us a chance to, we don't have to wait for the other 2 to be on. We can kind of get on, do our thing, and get in and get out. So I figured we would do like a 2,000 Glimmer ante, winner take all at that point, and go from there. So do you guys think you'll be in that EAZ area very much until the podcast records again next Thursday?
Yeah, I'll definitely do it, a couple more times, just to try to get an updated couple of rows and get something new. So, I mean, I definitely will do it at least one more time. I do have some silver leaves. I think the more silver leaves you convert into ash, the more likely you'll get drops of the weapons. It just feels that way to me.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So definitely stack.
Can you hold more than one stack?
I think you can hold up to 100, right?
Yeah, because it's 100 in a stack. But can you hold?
But you
more
only
than
get
one stack?
you only get like 7 per strike completion.
Yep.
So I mean, you'd have to run like
I said, I'm working on all the
15 strikes.
The triumphs first.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll let you guys know if
think
it's more than
it
a stack.
15 or 20 leaves at a time.
At a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 20.
So it would make you do multiples. Yeah.
I'm pretty
20
sure it's
max
20
per.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that would mean if a max stack is 100, you'd have to go in. You have to max out, go and do 5, and then go do other stuff.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. I'll have to check that. I hope you can hold multiple stacks so I can just do all the triumphs and then just sit in the EAZ and grind that out and then be done with it.
I promise you it will not be that easy.
I know. It's not.
I know we're already off the
Never
subject, but that's one frustrating thing is you can't just sit and do bonfire bash. You can't just sit there and just do the new thing. You have to go.
No, if you don't want to be efficient.
You have to go spend 45 minutes grinding strikes and then come back and do the bonfire bash.
But it is double strike this week.
Yeah.
So if you are needing to get your chain of command ornament, this would be run those strikes and get those knocked out.
All right, it is officially time for lore. Chad, what do you got in store for us this week?
Oh boy. Well, like I said earlier, Ava brought in the heat because I'm the lore boy. I am the chronicler. That's how excited I should be according to Ryan here. But she did bring some lore, some new lore on all the armor pieces. Good thing is, just like the rest of the season, it's all the same regardless. Helmet, stuff like that. And on the new hand cannon, something's new. So we'll start with that, with the hand cannon. So it's first off, Ava talking to Banshee. She says, "Do you ever tire of the work?" Banshee looks up from the workbench. Ava often crosses in front of his kiosk on her walks to and from the bazaar, striking up conversations with him in passing when she does. He briefly wonders if they've had this particular talk before. He wouldn't put it past her to simply let it play out to spare him the embarrassment of not remembering it. "Can't say that I do," Banshee replies cordially. "Memory's not so great, Every gun feels like a new one. Ava nods as she takes a sip of her tea from the mug in her hand. It's just that I see Guardians deliver parts to you all the time, and you seem to construct the same gun for them repeatedly. Are they not satisfied with what you provide? Banshee chuckles. Maybe. He leans on the bench looking for various weapon components strewn about his shop. It's a bit like Solstice now that I think about it. That seems to pique Ava's interest. Oh, she says, eyebrows raised. Guardians bring me scraps, pieces of guns they dismantled, and I turn them into something new. Not always what the Guardian was hoping for, but they hold on to that hope and keep bringing me parts. Ava smiles. Same interaction, different outcome. Yeah, I guess you could say that. How wonderful, Ava says cheerfully. She raises his cup to him and walks back to the courtyard. Definitely had that talk before, Banshee says to himself, but he never tires of it. So it's always fun when the devs and the writing team kind of poke at what like our Guardians do in the game, like whenever they talk about us dancing and doing other nonsense, jumping off the tower, stuff like that. So we're bringing him guns, like weapon parts. We see a bunch of guns and getting engrams, and we're like, this isn't what I wanted, walking away, but we come back anyway because we have nothing else to do. Moving on to the helmet, Shax shakes his head as he watches the Crucible match play out on screen. Bravo Team's Warlock has been revived by their ghost 3 times in 30 seconds. And by the looks of things, they're well on their way to a 4th. It's a shameful display, and the rest of Bravo seems to be getting fed up with it. Tough match, huh? Shax turns to see Ikora, her eyes fixed on the screen as well. Tough for that Warlocks team, Shax sighs. They've eaten a full shotgun blast to the chest, a hunter's knife to the face, and even got disintegrated by their own grenade. Ikora replies absently. Bet you 500 glimmer that they rally. Shax tilts his head at her. Are you serious? I'm always serious, she replies with an arched brow. After a moment, Shax nods. All right, I'll take that bet. They turn their attention back to the match. The Warlock is caught in an explosion, revived. Impaled on a glaive, revived. Falls off the edge of the arena, revived. And then they land a headshot. And another. Then another. They stick close to a member, Bravo, drawing fire so that their teammate can release a fusion rifle burst into their opponent. Shax watches in awe as the Warlock shapes their light into a flaming sword and takes to the sky, raining down fire on Alpha Team. Then the smoke clears. Bravo ekes out a narrow victory. How did you know? Shax asks as he hands the glimmer to Ikora. That Warlock stayed in the match, she replies. Never bet against someone who won't quit. I mean, the first part is kind of what I'm used to, but not the second part. I don't rally. Like,
So
if I'm falling off the edge, I'm just losing.
this is what the thing was. Ikora knows that player just turned on their aimbot and the wall hacks. So she knows that that Warlock turned the tides of the match whenever they flipped the switch. So
Yeah, there it was.
Yep.
She knew as soon as it happened. As soon as the head, yeah, you're right. All right, moving to arms. Namrask moves his 4 hands near the loom, though he dares not touch it. He fears that one of his skills as paltry as his would sully its mechanisms. He can still scarcely believe that he is allowed to be this close at all. Well, asks a digital voice over his shoulder, what do you think? He shuffles to the side, making eye contact with Ada-1, the Exo who invited him to view the loom. An impressive machine. Difficult to master, I think. Synthweave can be finicky, Ada admits. She crosses the small room to look upon the loom herself, but the results are well worth the effort. Why, Namrask begins, mustering his nerve. Why did you invite me here? It was all thanks to your people that the loom exists at all, she replies, and Ido tells me you are a weaver. That surprises Namrask. Ido makes a habit of avoiding him, and he had always thought she disliked him. Not that he could blame her for it, if she did. I am, he says, and then almost inaudibly, now. He bows his head in silence and shame. Ada says nothing for a moment, then turns to glance wistfully at the loom. When the Black Armory's forges were lost, I felt that I no longer knew who I was, and so I had to reinvent myself. She leaves his side, opening a drawer in her desk and taking it from it an object wrapped in cloth. Here, she says, and she hands it to him, for you to practice. Namrask unwraps the parcel, staring wide-eyed at the synthweave bolt in his hands. from one weaver to another, Ada says kindly. So for those in the know on the lore, Numrask is a old captain who went to Europa to escape and became a weaver. But since he's so gigantic and the looms that they use are itty bitty, they're made for like dreg-sized, vandal-sized people. He's kind of clunky, but he figures it out. Moving on to the chest. A bonfire crackles to those around it, friends gathering in need. It trades for warmth what they cast out and grows to soothe with brilliant hue. A bonfire roars to those around it, friends cheering the flames higher. It burns away shadows and brightens the night, a refuge from which to look to the horizon. A bonfire whispers to those around it, friends bonded by revelries now past. Morning ignites the horizon and dawn makes clear the road. Friends now ride, sparrows astride, no longer a shadow behind. They vanish into the sun. With the legs, we get Amanda Holiday interviewing random people in tower. First, she goes to Vanguard Commander Zavala. Each of us has faced and overcome so much. Sometimes they can feel like a sacrifice or a price, but it's a lesson to remember and learn. I'd like Guardians to keep that in mind as we celebrate Solstice. What we come to do is only possible because of what we've done, both the good and the bad. Next, Ikora Ray. Meditation is an important part of understanding not just the light, but ourselves. We rise and avoid and seek meaning. The bonfire is a wonderful metaphor for that process. Amanda outdid herself helping with Solstice. Even I don't know how she managed all of this. Saint 14. A big pyre to lay to rest everything we hold in our hearts. Yes, I could use this now. Celebration, explosions, revelry. Isn't it wonderful? I might cry. Misrax, Kel of House of Light. Guardians' celebrations perplex and mystify, but new beginnings are worth of what the saint calls partying. House Light is grateful for inclusion in this occasion and offers forth many combustible baubles to the sacrificial flame. Lord Saladin Valis to Empress Keitel. Once I can see this bonfire from Keitel's flagship, I'll be happy. Empress Keitel of the Cabal Empire. What is the ordnance limitation on these bonfire contributions? Perhaps the Cabal can assist in creating a larger fire. Anna Bray. I'll support anything Amanda does. Quite a show. I'm always a fan of something fancy with a little attitude. Lord Shax. I like to imagine the ignition cores are grenades. That does put a smile on my face. Eris Morn. The what? Moving on to class item, we go to Saint 14. He stands in place of the Sergeant-at-Arms amid a host of new lights. Most had been resurrected near the city walls. He needed the distraction, the work, but most of all, he needed to be somewhere he could help. Whispers fly between them regarding the legend that addresses them, and the strange chicken that struts figure eights around his legs. This area is reserved for lights without combat training who wish to take part in Solstice. Let's get you to speed. He picks up an old-looking weapon. This is standard Kabastov rifle. Some of you are familiar with this weapon, Saint says. For those who aren't familiar, it's very simple. He quickly runs through a few exercises, how to reload quickly, adjust the sights, clear a jam. At the range targets, he demonstrates how to weave light between bursts of gunfire. Each time a metallic ping rings out as he strikes a target, and each time a chicken cluck response echoes beside him. Calm and discipline is key. Steady support of your rifle will keep it under control. Steady pressure on the trigger will keep you from pulling off target. Breathe, squeeze, and shoot. Cluck. Yes, now it is your turn, New Lights. The group steps forward and focuses on their targets. Several of the trainees' shots miss, but a Guardian in green lands each bullet and cheers. Cluck. The New Light looks at the chicken now standing beside him, then to Saint 14, who also is focused on the chicken. There's a moment of hesitation when Saint says, good, run it again. I did it perfectly, the New Light complains flaccidly. Saint steps forward and puts a hand on their shoulder. Perfection doesn't guarantee success. Perfection is subjective, New Light. That's why we train. But I hit every one. Cluck. Saint 14 nods at the chicken, who stands tall and mighty, feathers sharp and puffed against the waning morning light. Colonel, the Pigeon Lord, says do it again. I wouldn't argue. I think that's Cade's chicken.
Yeah, I think his
Because I
was
remember there's a lore
Colonel,
piece
yeah.
where he adopts the chicken as the pigeon lord
Yeah.
because it was the colonel.
Yeah.
So he names it the pigeon lord. It was great.
That's great. That's a really good set of lore that came with this season this time around.
It's always just some fun, lighthearted stuff, which is nice.
All right, that brings us to the mailbag and question 1. I don't know if y'all seen this going on in the Destiny community this week on Twitter, but they compared teabagging to sexual assault in real life. What's coming from a game? And my question is that what does teabagging mean to you?
Ooh, to me, not a whole lot. I mean, it just gets me fired up, and it makes me go, that guy is the only guy I'm killing for the rest of this match. I'm going to ignore all his allies, and I'm going straight for him.
Yep.
I'm going to call him out to my teammate. Hey, this guy, XX, Marasov's OnlyFans, XX,
Yeah.
Adept,
Yep.
is teabagging. And that's when Ryan's like, well, I've been teabagging him already. And I'm like, well, now I know it's his fault.
Yep.
But, I'm going to take him down. But yeah, I mean, I would never think of it in that way, mainly because I guess we grew up playing like that, and that was simply just a taunt. It wasn't like a physical teabagging. That's just like I'm better than you.
Yeah.
You're a chump, and it's like, you know what? Let me prove that I'm not a chump.
Yeah, we
That's how I've always seen it.
In the original Halo days. That's all. Yeah, you didn't have emotes. That's all. That's the only movement you had. That or you shook your analog stick left to right. That's about it. Teabagging to me is actually just lazy, is the way I view it. We have hundreds of emotes in this game, and you choose just
There's
to
some
do
really
that
good
movement.
ones.
So I just feel like there's so much better ways out there to burn somebody or show the way that you owned them. Like throwing the gravestone down might be like one of the best ones. Like in PvP, and to me it's just lazy. It does get me going every now and then. If somebody does it to me and want to go emote on them, and sometimes whenever you're getting ran in PvP, you kind of just have to throw one out to the other team, as what happens to Chad, and give them a tunnel vision. It's like, oh, they're only going after this purple hunter, right? Everybody go teabag him. They kind of just don't see your teammates on the other side. Maybe you get an extra team shot in or two.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, question 2. So Xbox players are finally getting a true Discord chat integration. What does this mean for the community?
Oh my gosh.
It's wonderful, and it's just one of the best news that I've seen in a while.
I'm so excited. That's excellent because right now I have people, the people that I play with that I know that play on Xbox, and I'll run a GM or something with them. I have them download it on their phone and then use their Bluetooth headset that they use at work or whatever, AirPods, whatever they're using. Yeah. I'm like, use that, because the Xbox, the chat through through the computer and stuff, it just sounds horrible.
Yeah, it does
on our end. And I'm like, and that's gonna, even the Discord chat through that is gonna sound way better for you too.
Yeah.
So it's easier. Just plug in your phone, hit that Discord, join the call, and we'll get everything schmoving. But now that it's gonna be integrated in the Xbox, they won't have to do that. They'll be able to use their gaming headset and be able to listen to game sound and us and everything like that.
Yep.
And Discord's going to be able to I'm assuming it's still going to have the tech that it's got here, was it Whisper or CRISPR, to help filter out some of the smaller noises.
Oh, yes, because those headset mics are something special.
Exactly. So it's going to be able to do that for them, and it's just going to make everything just sound really good. And it's overall it's going to be better than game chat. I think once the Xbox players get used to it, I think it's going to be their main mode, even though it is easier just to go boop, boop, join party. Because the people that do use it to play with PC players here are going to be like, dude, just use it. Trust me, it sounds way better. You're going to be able to hear calls better, and it just sounds way better. So we'll be good.
All right, question 3 here. Have you guys seen Luckstruck 9 Discord where the bots hold checkpoints? I think this was referenced in a Fallout Plays video this week, and I definitely joined it. Fox sent it to me, and it's just gonna save a lot of time if like a lot of these things, like if we got some people on, like, hey, it's Vault of Glass week. Let's just farm Templar to get some better Fate Bringers and stuff like that. So I mean, I think it's really cool. Chad, have you looked into it?
I did see it. Normally, I lean on Jared a lot to get those checkpoints, because I don't use LFG. My luck with LFG is weird. It's just not good. Like, it's a weird 50-50 for me. It's not like them where it's like, oh, like only 1 out of 10 is bad. Like, where there's one bad person and then we just boot them and move on. It's like, no, 50% of the time I get just not fun people to play with, and so I just don't. So I leaned on Jared to go grab us a checkpoint, and then I'll see that message in Discord, be like, hey, I got a checkpoint. Let's do this later. All right, let's do it. But seeing this, like having the bots hold checkpoints, like that'll be way better because then I'll be able to do it like on my own thing and doing my own stuff, and then don't have to lean on him and hope he does it, because it's like, you know what, Jared, I'm gonna do it this time. I got you, dog.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here. Question 4. So, besides your main, what is your second favorite character to use?
Ooh. You know what's funny is I was a oh no. My lore was really good today. For those that are watching the YouTube,
Yeah.
it's really good. It was primo. For those, oh my gosh, I lost it. I totally forgot where I was headed.
Okay, your
So
favorite
you go.
character that is not your main. So
Yeah.
me,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be
So
it's gonna be a Titan for me. It's just like you just have 2 different alleys you can go down. You got Thunder Crash, which is like fun headbutt DPS, or you go like Ursa or Bubble, just like you're helping everybody out in some way.
yeah. I used to be, even at the beginning of this squad when we really started doing stuff. I used to be a Hunter main. Hunter would be my main guy. He was my main in Destiny 1 and going into Destiny 2. And it wasn't until Shadowkeep, when the 3 of us were actually doing stuff as a group together. I'm very much the backfill guy. So I'm like, I'll be whatever class we don't have. And Jared at the time was very much like I am a hunter. And I'm like, cool, you can be the hunter. And Ryan's like, I only play on Warlock because I like the worst jump of the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, you can be the Warlock. So I'll be the Titan then. And it's funny because it came back around, and in the beta I was playing as the Titan. I'm like, I like punchy boys. I'm gonna be a Titan. And so it's fun to see it flip back around, because now my main's Titan and then my secondary is my Warlock. So my Hunter is getting completely neglected now. And it's like, well, this is so weird. I did not think this would happen, because it's weird, because Warlock's always been my secondary, because it's been a very useful class.
Yeah.
For all raids, being able to drop a well, just having that character, like, have that out of the gate is super useful. Hunters were always, especially since I was mostly a raid guy, hunters weren't super useful in D2. So I while I did main it, I mostly played the other 2 characters for raids. Because like I said, I fill. But Titan and Warlock are the 2 that I play the most. So I have the most options for those 2 for sure. And Ryan, I'll answer for Ryan. His main is a Warlock, and his secondary is a Titan, even though he hates the jump, because he just does not like hunters.
Yeah, more times than not, he just throws on line rampants just so he can make it work.
Yeah, because it feels like a Warlock. Yeah.
Yeah. For those lucky few that view us on YouTube, you can kind of see what has been going on during the entire mailbag here. And me and Chad have kind of lost control and don't really know what to do here. I'm hoping a miracle happens, but I don't think it's going to happen because question 5 was going to be Mount Rushmore things that trigger you in Destiny 2. But I don't know if Chad's familiar with a Mount Rushmore draft or whatever, what that means. And I know Fox is very familiar and he's going to do it. However, he is now incapacitated. So
He's fully down,
yeah,
and I'm very excited because I loved seeing it happening, and then watching the camera cut. It's
Yep.
it's great.
Oh, this is one of those days, Chad. I wish that one of us had access to his computer to go in and make some changes here or there, just to click a button.
Yeah, a single button. Yep. That'll be fun.
And you know what? It's gonna be on him.
Yep.
It's his fault.
100%.
Yep.
Oh,
As
man.
we sit here and ramble through this last bit, we was really negative about Solstice today, and we had like a few likes that we said at the end. But overall, I mean, it is a free event. We didn't pay extra for it. Fox paid extra for it. We didn't. So, for us, it's still overall it is a positive event and positive to the community that this is happening. And I wish Fox would wake up right now, but I don't think it's going to happen. So,
Somebody text the wife.
I have. I'm afraid to. To be honest.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh,
We'll at least be able to cut the YouTube live, but
yeah.
he's gonna have fun with
I will send a text.
with. Oh man.
I
Oh
wish
man.
this camera didn't cut off.
Yeah, it would have been so funny.
To see
But yeah, like Jared was saying, we definitely go into the negative for the Solstice, but like he said, it's a free event. The armor is good. If you are a more casual player, finishing one character is possible, and it'll give you a really solid set of armor. So it'll give you another good option for armor. So you'll be able to fill in spaces that you don't have adept armor in yet, or be able to finally get to a 100 resilience build that isn't only 100 in resilience and has at least up to 5 in every other stat or more. So it's a really good event to get a solid set of armor. This is the first set from an event that actually I look at and go, you know what, I might actually keep this set, because most of the time I just scrap it all. It's all scrap except the weapons. So it's going to be good to have that. So definitely go in there and do that. Spend the $10. Don't spend the $10 on silver to get the other stuff if you really, really want or don't want. It's up to you. Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. I guess, Chad, the only other thing we really didn't talk about was kind of about how Bungie is I mean, of course, everybody's anti-harassment in every way, but like there's been also talks about in the community of harassing of devs and community managers and stuff like that. And they kind of talked about some of the DMs that they got. It's pretty disgusting for the most part of what people like say to them for no reason at all except for just lashing out. And my advice for people that's sending DMs to community managers is write it out and put it in a draft and think about it for a day before you send it. Because I think what happens a lot of times in games in heat of the moment, you might just like something just terrible happen in PvP, like you get teabagged, you lose your 6-win card in trials to whatever reason, you don't get to go flawless. Like you're really heated and you're really mad, and like the next day you're feeling totally different about the suspect and that's not really needs to be said, and you're just angry at the gameplay and not really to a community manager to just take that draft and save it and don't send it, because that next day you're going to feel different. Like last week I was playing Rift, I was just so angry at my teammates about like not reviving me, not like grouping up to push forward, you know. So it's just like if somebody asked me a question in that moment, I would have been so angry about whatever they asked me about, even though it was nothing towards them at all. It's just the way that my feelings were going at the time. So just use the draft function when it comes to Twitter.
Yeah, it's definitely wholly unnecessary. I understand people can be extremely angry, but like Jared said, writing it out, actually putting your thoughts out there in a private space, will let you kind of vent, and then you can think about it. And after a day, you're like, I'm still gonna send a message, but it's not gonna be this one. And I mean, I get it. Not all choices Bungie makes, I agree with. I don't like a lot of them, but I'm not sending hate mail to anybody. I'm just gonna be like, I don't like that decision, and we're gonna talk on here about why it's poopy, and that's it. Like we're gonna be like, yeah, that's dumb. I don't know why they're doing this. It's dumb. But I'm not hating on a particular person or anything like that. I would never do that because it's unnecessary. Just like as a group, we can come together and be like, we don't like this. As the group that enjoys and plays this game and pays into it, we don't like this decision. And hopefully they listen and do something.
Yeah.
But again, they're the ones making the game, so I'm still gonna play it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be mad about it,
Mm-hmm.
but we're gonna play it.
Mm-hmm. Best.
Like Ryan had a solid rant about Solstice, and you betcha he's still gonna finish up a set of armor at least on his warlock.
He's gonna gild that title. He'll gild it just out of spite. The fact that he paid money for it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So my other suggestion, Chad, is that you open up a tab in the other browser that you have and try to log in as Fox to Zencaster and end the podcast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll be for other stuff.
Yeah. So if you're able
but we can end the YouTube.
Yeah, we could keep this going because I want it on record of what's happening here. And we'll do the sign off and everything. But I just want to know if we can be able to get there or not.
This is the post show?
Yeah, this is the post show right now.
Oh my god, what did they change the name of? It's not Edge anymore, is it? It's Edge now, it's not.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Yeah, they did away with Internet Explorer.
No. Zencaster. Oh man, that means I'm gonna have to post it all.
This is kind of how the sausage is made. Everyone, we use an app called Zencaster, and we all log in, and they record each of our audios, and they mush it together at the end, and do all the special stuff.
See what happens.
So
today's this one.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't join the room because you already have joined in a different. I would have to close my current tab on my computer and then do it.
And I have no idea what that would do.
I don't know either.
I've tried many times to call this man, and I texted his wife. I'm not calling his wife. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he'll just have to rip the YouTube audio out.
Yep. That's the best bet.
All right. Chad, go ahead and sign off, and I'll do the ending.
Oh, he calls the ending. Okay. Definitely, if you don't want to play Solstice, don't play it. Play something else. Have fun doing something else. I'm kind of annoyed that I have to play it so that I can get that armor piece and check all my boxes because I'm that kind of person. Because I really want to finish Mass Effect. I'm on 3 and I want to finish it. No spoilies. But do what you want to do. Play Destiny 2 if you still really want to play it. If you just started up again and want to grind. If you see us on in Destiny and doing Solstice stuff, hit us up. See if we want to just play some bash, just light some fires and stuff. If you have any lore ideas, I'm more than happy to hear them. We got one more book to go through for the season, and we still got 4 more resets? No, the 23rd 3. Mm-hmm. 3 more resets. 3. Wow, really?
1, 2,
3 more. 3. I think 3 more Tuesdays.
We got
4 more Tuesdays. So I'm gonna in two more of these, I'm gonna run out of books for this season. So if anybody's got an idea or something they want to cover, just let me know, and I'll be happy to if I don't already know about it, I'll be happy to look into it and do something for you.
So thanks for sticking around for this long. If you have, God bless you, and I hope the RNG gods bless you with your drops, and I hope Fox gets cursed for at least until the end of Lightfall expansion season. So for this, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and like and subscribe. I'm not going to tell you to undo it and then redo it. I mean, it's kind of crazy. As long as you do it in the first place, it's all that matters to me. And just remember, love you guys.